Republican Congressman Michael McCaul of the great state of Texas, a member of the House Foreign Affairs and Homeland Security Committees. Great to see you. Look, let's start with what's going on with the War Powers vote potentially this week. What are we looking at? Could Democrats fail in that vote? Do you have enough?
I believe so. This was scheduled before the events of yesterday. I don't believe they have the votes to. It basically says the president has no authority to conduct these operations, and that's absolutely false. Pursuant to War Powers Act, the president will cite Article 2, self-defense. They are complying with it with 48-hour notification. We'll have briefings, and then it's incumbent upon the Congress to do its job. Harris, I believe that there are enough Democrats that are patriots in this situation to embrace what has happened and support the president in an authorized use of military force. That as chairman of Foreign Affairs Committee, I attempted to upgrade the 2001 AUMF after 9/11 to include Iran and its Shia proxies. And I think it's time to do that now. If I can finally say the historical significance of what happened yesterday for, since 1979, a veil of darkness and terror reigned in the Middle East. Now the shroud has been lifted. The people of Iran now have control over their destiny. And it's a critical moment in time for them, as the president said, for them to stand up and take back their country. This is a strong president, not like the president of 1979 with President Carter.
I'll get back to your shift to the Middle East in just a second. I want to stay at home now. The TSA will start. They're already on partial paychecks. They'll start to work, I believe, today for this month, unpaid on the job. We are at a ultra heightened sensitivity level for terrorism in this country. I've been saying at this hour, it is the truth. Our enemies will hit us sometimes while we are deployed abroad. We need TSA to be paid, and we need it today. What kind of pressure can you on the Hill put on Democrats to come back and fund that part of Homeland Security?
Well, we need to demonstrate to the Democrats how grossly irresponsible it is to hold this critical funding.
That would make them quite ignorant if they don't know.
And as chairman of Homeland Security many years, I know the threat to the aviation sector very well, and it's real. And in fact, Harris, in my backyard just last night, we had an event that possibly could have been terror-inspired right here in Austin, Texas, the same city where the would-be assassin of the Saudi ambassador in the Georgetown restaurant came out of. This concerns me on the Homeland front with respect to sleeper cells in the United States from Iran to hit the target list. I was indicted by Iran after the strike on Soleimani because of my participation in that. But beyond my role, I see it as a real threat across the country, and it is so irresponsible to hold up that funding.
All right, let's jump to the Middle East now. Any thoughts on why in the world Iran would hit some of its, I don't know if you call them friends, but they were friendly, Qatar, Kuwait? I mean, they're pounding those countries and pushing them, I would think, politically closer to the United States. What's your take on it?
Such a great point, Harris. You hit the nail on the head. A gross miscalculation, an error on their part, and a forced error by them to turn the Gulf states against themselves by hitting them, and not just our military targets, but hotels in the Emirates and in Saudi Arabia and in these Gulf states. Here's the point. The Gulf nations have now, like their own Article 5, turned against Iran. And Russia and China, where are they right now? These so-called allies of Iran have now shown no support. I would argue Iran now is on its own. It is alone in the Middle East. And now for the first time, we have the chance to take out this regime and have a normalization process between the Arab nations and Israel and have this moment that the president wants to finally have peace in the Middle East. This is an extraordinary opportunity, and Iran now is as isolated as I've ever seen them. I don't see the errors of Iraq and Afghanistan here. Number one, we've taken out the supreme leader and their top leadership, which would be like our entire executive branch. Number two, no boots on the ground to be targets. And number three, they're all by themselves now.
All right. It is so wonderful to have you in the program. I'm going to take a quick break and let you go, Congressman, but I appreciate your time on this Sunday.
Thank you, Harris. Thanks for having me.
Well, deadly ripples from the